Hello beautiful people, and welcome to our first FIFA 23 video. First of many. We are going to be making tons of FIFA content this year. I'm back. A lot of you will have noticed that I haven't posted in months. I'll talk more about that later, but I don't want to waste any of your time. I want to get right into the gameplay, and I want to get right into the career. So obviously, as you can see from my shirt, we're going to be starting with Arsenal. So a new little feature in this year's game is that you can actually choose to play as a manager who already exists. And you'll see, you see Steven Gerrard, you see Frank Lampard. A lot of these managers actually have their real face. Arteta does not. I mean, that does not look anything like Mikel Arteta, and which is honestly ridiculous to me because they had his face already in the game as a player, and I even believe he was in it last year. So we'll kind of just pretend that Arteta is, he's on the sidelines, he's giving us information, he's still working with us, but we're going to be the front man, which is going to be hard to top because that hairline, that beard, I mean, Arteta's a nice looking man, but hopefully we can make someone who looks a little bit better in my likeness. Hey guys, so I'm over here right now. I just moved my webcam, I zoomed it in a little bit, but yeah, so here is the face of our guy. It's not perfect, it could be better, but I mean, I don't know if you guys have ever done much customization in FIFA, but there's never really that many options anyway. Our outfit, looking a little bit like this. We went with the all black, some Chelsea boots, a little red jacket. Without any further ado, let's get into the game. Mr. Jackgunna taking control of the Arsenal. All right, so here you can see we have a transfer budget of 101 million. I'm not going to be doing the first transfer window. I'm going to disable it. I know that some of you guys might be like, oh man, the signings are my favorite part about a career mode. Don't worry, we still might be able to make some signings happen. I'll show you exactly what I mean by that later, and we are going to focus heavily on our youth development. A lot of YouTubers I see doing career modes these days on Arsenal or other teams that are already established, they like to ignore the youth academy. I think the youth academy is one of the most fun things in FIFA, as well as the free agents. So we're going to be looking into those things for transfers. Domestic success high, continental success high. We'll go in and take a look at our objectives, but it's looking good so far. Okay, so I'm going to start this FIFA out on Legendary. I will be moving it up to Ultimate depending on how we do. If we're crushing teams every single game, which I doubt, seeing as this will be my first game of this FIFA so far. We're going to change our negotiation strictness to strict. We're going to disable international job offers, and we're going to disable that first window. I do have the fully updated squads. The game just came out today. Don't know when you guys will be seeing this, so I do think that some of the Arsenal players have been boosted. I don't know if that's going to actually apply to career mode, but we're going to see. We've been having a great season so far. Arteta has been doing a good job, and yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want him to be fired, but I also would love to do an Arsenal career mode. I love the players. I'm a huge fan of the team. I hope that you guys will enjoy this career mode. We'll be doing more career modes. We're going to be doing Ultimate Team. We're going to be FIFA-centric this year, and I'm going to see how long we can keep it up for.
A warm welcome to you all.
All right.
Without further delay, we are pleased to introduce...
Here we are, coming in to the stadium. Doesn't really look like me at all, but whatever. What can you do? I tried my best. All right, so first things first, let's look at the team. That's the first thing I want to do. And I'm already noticing that the players are the base rating in the game, which I don't know about you guys. I don't know if all of you guys are going to be Arsenal fans watching this video, but we have been absolutely shafted by EA this year. They've destroyed the ratings of all of our players. I don't think it's fair. I do think it has to do somewhat with the fact that we have a licensing deal with PES, Pro Evolution Soccer, and I don't think that they want people to use Arsenal in this game. I don't know what really benefit they get out of that, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, Gabriel rated higher than Saliba. That doesn't really make any sense. Party 84, Xhaka 79. That's a travesty in my opinion. No way is Jesus an 83 rated player or Martinelli 78. If Saka's 82, you got to make Martinelli at least 80 rated. We got Zinchenko here in the left, who I will be starting to start this season off. We'll see how he plays with that 68 pace. I do consider possibly moving him into the midfield at some point, seeing as he's a very well-rounded player, and that 68 pace is not going to matter so much in a center defensive mid position. But yeah, here's the team. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put Marquinhos on the bench because I believe that he's going to have a part to play this season, and there's really no use in ever having a goalkeeper on your bench in FIFA because your goalkeeper usually never gets injured or sent off, and if they do, I always like to invite the challenge, let's put an outfield player into the goal and see what happens. So yeah, what formation are we going to play this season? I think we're going to we're going to go with a 4-2-3-1 narrow, because I feel like roughly that is the formation we've been playing this season. Obviously, Xhaka's been playing a little bit far forward, but we're going to manage that in his instructions here. This is going to be the starting 11, at least for the beginning. I know that for some reason Ben White, who's been playing right back this whole season, doesn't even have right back listed as one of his alternate positions, so he does get a -3 there, which does mean that I'm going to be starting Tomiyasu. I do like Ben White at right back, but if he's going to be getting that -3, there's absolutely no point. We'll be using him as a rotational center back, and we'll definitely get some use out of him, especially in the Europa League this year. All right, so let's go on to our instructions. So Xhaka, I want him to get forward. I don't want him to be staying back the whole time. In terms of defensive behavior, cut passing lanes is usually what I like to do. I'm gonna leave the rest of the team the same. I think that everything else is gonna really sort itself. I just really like to build that dialogue around Xhaka, where he's getting forward, he's joining the attack as he has been doing this season, and I think it's been a revelation for him. He's been playing better than he ever has. I think the issues with the fixtures this year is they can't line up accurately to real life because of the World Cup happening this winter. I don't know what the deal is in career mode with the World Cup. We're not going to be accepting international job offers, so that's not going to be an issue. But I am just interested to see what they do with it, because, this is the first World Cup we're having in winter, and it's heavily affected the fixtures. And I mean, already with Arsenal and all of the other English teams losing 2 weeks to the death of the Queen, it's getting crammed, and I'm glad at least, we have a little bit more space, especially since we won't be doing an international job, to kind of just deal with the Premier League and rest up our players, get them to good fitness. So, as I said, I'm not going to be doing any transfers. We already disabled the transfer window. Every team is going to stay the same, apart from the fact that we are going to be able to sign some free agents if we feel the need. Now, if we look at our squad, we've got 3 keepers. I don't think we need to change anything in the keeper position. We have Runarsson off on loan. I don't think Arsenal plans to keep him. In terms of left back, we're good. Center back, we're looking pretty solid. We have Holding and Ben White as backups, which is great. Right back is definitely somewhere where I'm looking to improve. I want to let go of Maitland-Niles after his loan expires. I don't think he has a future at Arsenal. I think Cedric is getting a little bit too old to be a backup at this point to Tomiyasu, so we're gonna have to see if we can bolster up the right back position. In terms of midfield is a position where I really think we need to bolster up as well. As you can see, we only have 3 CDMs, and one of them being El Neni, whose contract is expiring in 12 months. I don't think El Neni is going to play a huge role in this season, so we're gonna have to see when we can move him on, what we can possibly do with El Neni, but we'll see what we'll see what we do with him come around January. He'll play a few games. We'll see how he plays. Possibly he could be a good player in this FIFA. I'm not sure. I doubt it. As far as left mid, we've got Smith Rowe and Martinelli there, which is going to do fine. Center mid, we're also looking a little bit light. We've got some good prospects out on loan in terms of Patino and Aziz, who both don't have the real faces. There's a travesty of lack of real faces. I mean, look at Lokonga. That's an absolute joke. I actually think that we'll consider maybe changing his position to a left mid, and that's actually going to be the first thing that we do in terms of development. All right, so changing Martinelli to a left wing. I don't know how much that's going to increase his stats, but I do know that it's a necessary thing because he's definitely a left winger. He's not much of a left mid. He doesn't like to get back on defense, as you can see, 45 defending. So I think putting him in a more advanced role is possibly going to help his potential. And as you can see, it's only going to take 2 weeks for him to get there. So I'm going to go through and sort of apply some developments to these players, and I'll show you some of the ones I'm doing if I think that they're super important. But development plans are super important in FIFA. Starting last year, I believe, was the first time they added them in, and they really help you to kind of form your players the way that you want. Okay, so Marquinhos is another player who I see as an attacking talent, so I'm actually also going to transition him into becoming a right winger instead of a right mid because I think that's going to work better for his play. He's a lefty on the right, which I love. 2 weeks it's going to take him, same as Martinelli. So we'll see what their statistics are looking like. He has an exciting prospect tag, which is really exciting, as you can see in the name, because that means he has a potential of, I believe, 85 plus. And obviously with dynamic potential, we could even push that further. And I do think maybe not this season, maybe not even in the next season, but definitely come season 3, if we make it that far, he will become an integral part of the squad. I basically set everyone to become a 5-star weak foot past what I said. I know it's not the best thing. If you guys want me to stop doing that, I definitely will. I'm sorry if that's annoying to you guys, but before any further ado, we're going to go into our youth academy. Now, we've got a 5-star scout. We're going to pop him into England. We're going to do 9 months. I don't really think I want to put any type of player in there. I just want to see what he comes up with. We can kind of fill out the squad as we go. And there he's off on his adventure. We're going to go look at our youth academy. So who do we have in our youth academy starting off? So it doesn't look like we have anyone that's actually too amazing here. So I'm going to kind of just keep a couple of these players around. Jacobson is going to go. 83 potential is not high enough. Same with 79 potential in Riveros. We have a Balogun in the youth academy, also a striker, but we are not going to be using him, at least just yet. We actually already have our Balogun, and he's a much higher rated player. He's off on loan this season. I don't think we're going to need to use him in this first season. We do have Nketiah on the bench, which I do want to make an integral part of this first season. So without any further ado, I'm sorry if that took a long time. I'm going to try and cut that as short as possible. I want this to be an action-packed career mode. I don't want to be doing too much in the menus, but it's FIFA. It's a menus type of game, so I'm going to have to be doing a lot of it. I'm going to try and keep it to as much gameplay, and when we get in the gameplay, I'm going to try and keep it as concise and fun and exciting as possible. Hopefully, we are able to start off well. I'm going to play through all of these training drills. I'm not going to show you. I don't think you guys really care to see these anyway. And hopefully this will get me a little bit warmed up in the game. I will see you guys once we're done. Beautiful. All right, so we got A on all those training drills. They're relatively easy for me. I've been playing FIFA for over 10 years now, which is absurd considering I'm only 22. But yeah, so I'm going to be not showing you much of that training stuff because I don't think it's going to be that interesting. But I'll let you guys know once we get to the preseason tournament. I'll show you some of the simulations. Maybe we can try out one of the new highlights features just for one game and then simulate the rest. We'll see what we end up doing. Oh my God. All right. Finally, we are to our first match day, which is against Bergamo Calcio, which is obviously one of the unlicensed Serie A teams. We're going to do playable highlights right now, and we're going to start off with attack only because this is just our what's it called, a preseason tournament. If we get into the final, I'll do full highlights of the game, but I don't think that it's necessary. We're going to use our full strength team. I'm going to try out this feature for the first time. So what this means is that it's possible, as just happened, we start and we're already a goal down. So starting with a free kick from Gabriel, let's get into the match. All right, so Saliba onto Partey, and we've lost the ball. And just like that, our chances are... And now we're down 2-0. That doesn't really seem to make any sense. But here we have a counterattack. It looks like Jesus is running straight through. We had a run from Martinelli. I might try and do a 1-2 here with... And just like that, we lost the ball. All right, guys, this is going to be tough. All right, this is my first time really playing a FIFA 15, really. FIFA 23 gameplay scenario, so I'm not going to be amazing at it. But I do think that pretty soon I'm going to get the hang of it because I'm good at FIFA. And that was not a bad attempt by us. And now we're down 3-0. Damn, that is tough. Yeah, I mean, I don't see me using this feature much. I like to play all the games except for these preseason tournament games as Odegaard passes it straight out and we lose 3-0. So maybe not something that we're going to be using too often, like I was just saying. I like to play all the games, all the cup games. But, you know, for these preseason tournaments, maybe further along in the career, once we start to not care so much about the league, once we're going for the Champions League, once the cups start not to matter as much, then maybe we'll start to employ that a little bit more. But for now, I think we're just going to be doing quick sims for these. Okay, so we've gotten knocked out of the tournament already, I think. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I don't really care. We're going to delete those. All right, so Martinelli's position change option is already available. Change position, and he actually goes up 1 overall already. So yeah, I think he's better placed as a left winger. So we're going to keep him there, and soon enough we should be able to also transfer over Marquinhos into a right wing. Look at our first monthly scouting report, and it's not looking great. Yeah, no, it's a terrible one. So we're gonna just get these guys all out of the way. Okay, and just like that, our first fixture up at Elland Road against Leeds. I'm excited. We're gonna start the Premier League today, and hopefully we're going to start off with a win. Leeds is definitely a team that we're going to want to be beating if we want to do well in this season, this first season. I'm aiming for a Champions League finish. We're not going for the league. I don't think that we're good enough to stand up against teams like Manchester City, but I do think that we're good enough to get into the top 4, and so that's what we're going to be trying today. What's the mood ahead of your first game? A talented group of players, man. Super talented. Sorry, I'm kind of skipping through this. Does anyone really care about these? If you'd like me to go slower through these, then by all means, let me know in the comments, and I will do so. We're getting into our first game, and I'm excited. So we're going to stick with this team that I have right here. Ben White has actually already gone up in overall rating, which is pretty cool to see. So has Sambi Lokonga. We've got some players here on the bench that aren't exactly match sharp, but Marquinhos, Vieira, Smith Rowe, and Nketiah are all looking good to play in this game when needed. In FIFA 23, just like in real life, you will have 5 substitutions per game. So we'll see what we can do with that. Here we go. Our first look at some of the new cutscenes that they've added into the beginning of match days. And it's exciting. You know, I love when they add new things into career mode to make it look good. I've got a lot of complaints about this year's career mode. Maybe we'll get into a video about that if you guys are interested at some point. But yeah, just like that, we're going to start off in our first game. I do have to change the camera angle, but let's see what we can do against Leeds United. Okay, here we are in our first match. I'm really excited. You know, it's going to be an exciting season. We're going to try and get into that Champions League position. We are a young team, so I'm hoping to see our team improve drastically in the first season. And, you know, come January time, there are some signings I want to make. I definitely am not happy with the way that the team is. We need some more players in some crucial positions, mostly for backup, maybe some starters. We'll see what we're looking at in January. We'll see what we're looking like in January, where we are in the league, where I've kind of noticed that we have some weaknesses. And yeah, without any further ado, I'll see you guys for some opportunities that we have in this match. Unless I concede right here in the beginning, I won't concede. Not first. I won't concede. I won't concede. I won't concede. I won't concede. We haven't conceded, thank God. All right, Zinchenko driving forward here, dropping the ball off to Odegaard. Jesus is making a run. And he's in the box, and our first goal is scored by none other than our new talisman, Gabriel Jesus. I'm so excited to see how many goals he can get this season, how many assists Odegaard will get this season, and how well we'll be able to do in our first season in charge of the Arsenal. Come on, Gunners. We've got our first goal. Can only get better from here, right? Oh, but Xhaka's won the ball in an advanced position, and Jesus has a second within 20 minutes. That assist from Xhaka. He's up the pitch because that's the instructions we've given him. That's the role he's been playing, and it's good to have a defensive player up the pitch, so if you lose the ball in an attacking scenario, if you were able to win it back quickly, you're able to catch the opponent on their back foot, and just like that, with his weak foot, Jesus is able to score another, opening his account with 2 goals in his competitive debut. And like I said, I'm really excited to see what he can do. As I said, if we are crushing teams, I'll up the difficulty. It might even be at the end of this episode that we decide to move to Ultimate. But I just wanted to make sure that, you know, I got to grips with this game before we ended up getting too hard for ourselves. And just like that, 2-0 up. Hopefully, we can keep a clean sheet as well, with Saliba winning a great tackle there. Oh! Oh no! Is that Bamford? Bamford's come in, and he's ruined our clean sheet. I'm not exactly sure what Aaron Ramsdale was doing there. If you see here, they pass it into the box. I suppose he's just dived for the ball when he shouldn't have. Very questionable play there from Ramsdale. I hope that the keepers are good this year. I mean, that's not a good sign, but starting off in this game, 3 goals in the first half. Maybe we don't have to up it to ultimate just yet. All right, that's the end of the first half. 2-1 is the scoreline, and we're looking good so far. They've only had 1 attack. We've had a couple of chances here that we've wasted, but so far I'm liking what I'm seeing. I think the formation is doing well. I like Saka and Martinelli getting out on the wings. And yeah, we might possibly be popping in some substitutions. Not just yet, I don't think, but I think come around the 60th minute, we'll try and see if we can make maybe 2 or 3 substitutions now that we have 5. Because I'm excited to get this the squad very rotated this season. And you know, 59th minute, let's pop on some substitutions. So I'm thinking I want to try Vieira, and I'm gonna try Vieira in the center mid position. Doesn't look like I really can, actually. Let's put him as a lamb. This is going to be a little makeshift, but I think we'll be okay. And then we'll put Party as the sole CDM here. All right, we'll see how this works. It's a very attacking formation. I don't know if it's going to hurt us in the end, but Xhaka's done well so far in the first half. I just want to see our new boy Fabio Vieira get his debut here from on the bench. Let's put in some new subs. Saka's played well, though, but I want to see Marquinhos and what he can do, as well as Ben White. Let's pop in Ben White. Oh, Gabriel already going up an overall point. I'm going to take him off, though, even though he's been playing well. Let's see what Lokonga can... You know what? No, actually, Party has been too... he's been too critical for what we've been doing so far in defending our back line. So let's take off Zinchenko. We'll put on Tierney, and we'll see what we can do with this. Tomiyasu is just allowed to run all the way through. Let's take it back. Into Fabio Vieira. Into Jesus! Jesus, sorry. It is Jesus, not Jesus. He's not Spanish. He's Portuguese. And the Portuguese man has put us 3-1 to the Arsenal. And he's able to get his hat trick in his first game. It's a great sign. We put on Fabio Vieira. He's supposed to be playing left attacking mid, but our attacking players, Odegaard, Vieira, and Jesus. Sorry, that's going to take a little bit of time for me to get down, but I am committed to saying everyone's names right. Jesus able to score a header there. And is that the perfect hat trick? It might be. Uh-oh. Bamford's through. And he drags it wide, and we win our first game in the Premier League on the road at Ellen Road. Jesus getting the match ball, 4 attempts, 3 goals. And I actually want to see if he got the perfect hat trick. So first goal, I think he did, actually. Right foot. Second goal. Jesus has gotten the perfect hat trick in his first game. Those of you who may not know, a perfect hat trick is when you score 1 with your right, 1 with your left, and a headed goal. So I don't think we can ask much more from him in the first game. Xhaka, Odegaard, and Vieira with assists. It's going perfect. We've got our first 3 points on the board. The standings are looking as follows. Spurs in the lead with a 5-0 win in their first game. Against who the hell did they play? Fulham. Wow, Fulham got thrashed. All right, any notable losses in this first one? Not really. All right, well, let's continue on. Let's get into our next game against Brighton. Going into our second game of the season, Saka already up a rating, as is Gabriel, and the team is looking good. I think I'm going to keep it as we started the last game. We went well. We're playing against a 3 in the back. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if Jesus can get another 3 goals today. Oh my god! I had to try the chip. Chips were extremely overpowered in FIFA 22. I wanted to see what they were looking like this year, and the first time chip... I mean, I don't know what to say. The elegance, the grace, Sanchez able to get nowhere near that. clapping our boys on from the sideline, and Saka opening his account this season. Like I said, I want him to play well. I want to boost his potential as much as possible. I want to get Saka into the 90 ratings by season 3 if we make it there. Odegaard is through here. Can we find Saka on the wing? Some tricky footwork. Into Jesus! Jesus! And the bicycle kick is not able to find its way into the net. But the goalkeeper's given it right back to us. Xhaka will hold up the play there. We've got Odegaard through. Can we squeeze that in? I mean, I don't know, guys. Maybe it's just too easy this year, and we're already going to have to up it to ultimate difficulty for the next episode. Let me know in the comments if that could interest you. I think I'm going to try it out. We'll see how we play. You know, if we lose a few games, it's not the end of the world. But as of yet, 1, the goalkeepers have not impressed me. And 2, we're scoring goals for fun. Oh my God. At that point, I've just got to put the controller down. And just look at that. A rocket into the top left corner. Outside the box, the new powered shot, and that shot is looking almost a little bit too overpowered, if you ask me. And just like that, we find ourselves 3-0 in the lead in the first half. Now, Brighton is not the strongest team in the league, but I'm starting to think that we're going to have to up it to ultimate. Yeah, I don't think there's much question. I think Legendary is just too easy. And 4-0 in the lead. This game is already over in the first half. Good defensive work there, and that's going to be the end of the first half. So, seeing as we're 4-0 in the lead in the first half, 4-0 to the Arsenal, I'm going to make a lot of subs because I want to try some new players out that we haven't tried yet. We didn't put Smith Rowe in last game. I'd like to try Lokonga in the midfield. And I think we'll do the same thing that we did in the last game, where we switch him into CDM, Odegaard as our right attacking mid. And left attacking mid is going to be Vieira. And is that a goal? Yes, it is. Brighton is able to take our clean sheet away once again. All right, and you know what? Saka's done well this game, but since we're already so far in the lead, I think it's a good opportunity for us to just shake up the team even more. So I'm going to pop Marquinhos onto the wing and see how he plays. Get a feel for his speed, his touch on the ball. And already he's got a good amount of involvement down this right side. Uh-oh. And they've made it 4-2, and maybe, just maybe, we won't have any need to turn it up to ultimate just yet. But even so, I still think I'm going to do it. We obviously have to work on our defending. It seems as if players are able to break through the defense a lot. As I say that, Odegaard is through. Can he finesse it into the corner? There we go, 5-2. Once again, the game's sealed in our direction. Our captain, Martin Odegaard, doing what he does best and putting the ball in the back of the net. And just like that, I think we can, breathe a little bit easier again, being 3 goals into the lead. It's the end of our second game in the league, 2-5. And I think that's where we're going to end today's episode. Drop a like if you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you have any suggestions, if there's anything you'd like to see. Starting off beautifully, and I hope that we continue as we've started. 5 goals in his first 2 games from Jesus, even better than he's been playing in real life. And without any further ado, have a beautiful rest of your day, morning, night, whatever time it might be, where you are. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, peace.